Welcome to Pace TV, where we publish news on politics and entertainment. We have another trending news for you today, and the headline here reads Gloomy Outlook for States as Federation Accounts Falls. Here comes the news in details. Gloomy Outlook for States as Federation Accounts Falls. The scale of the looming financial crisis caused by the coronavirus pandemic has been revealed by Minister of Finance Mrs. Zainab Ahmed. The federal government, the state, and the local government councils have lost massive projected revenue, which will affect their plans for this year. Many states have been unable to meet their critical obligations, including payment of workers' salaries, following the whoosh reduction in their revenue inflows from the Federation accounts. The states expecting to share 3.3 trillion this year will not have more than 2.1 trillion. The councils, which were projected to share 2.5 trillion, will not get more than 1.5 trillion from the federal account. The federal government share, which should have been 4.8 trillion, will now be 2.4 trillion, which is 50% of the expected accrual, the minister explained. She spoke during a citizens' dialogue in Abuja organized by the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning in conjunction with United Kingdom's Department for International Development. The seminar discussed Nigerians' response to the fall in oil prices and the COVID-19 pandemic. The cut is in projection of revenue expected from oil and gas, customs, and the value added tax VAT, she said. According to her, the projected overall influx into the federal account is in 2020 is 8.6 trillion, but what is expected now is 3.3 trillion. The customs projected revenue of 1.5 trillion has shrunk to 1.2 trillion. VAT has gone down to 2 trillion from the targeted 2.1 trillion. The worst hint is the oil and gas intake, which has dropped drastically from the projected 5.5 trillion. The budget 2020 oil price benchmark was set at 55 per barrel dollar. The projected was reviewed downwards to $30. Now it is going further down to $20 as oil prices continues the free fall in the international market. The other penalties were Prince Glenn Abba, Minister of State, Budget and National Planning, Mr. Ben Akabuje, Director General Budget, Office of the Federation, and Lade Jayole, Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Economic Summit Group. The Ministers of State said, "We also expect that from about June, the states might begin to feel the effect of low revenue coming from oil and therefore might be having challenges in meeting up with obligations, especially the payment of salaries. To mitigate this, certain steps are to be taken. Of the 2.5 billion facilities from the World Bank, about 1 billion of it will be going to the state as loan. These are concessionary loans. Mr. President has already approved 850 billion loan from domestic capital markets. He also approved 150 million to be taken from the sovereign wealth account in support of FASC. We are also looking at suspending deductions in respect of the budget support funding which was provided to the states as a way of easing bundle. So discussions are on with the CBN as to provide moratorium on the deductions in respect of the bailout loans. Already 10,000 billions has been given to support Lagos State. We also have additional provisions to cover the remaining 35 states and the Federal Capital Territory. We will ensure that about 5 billion homes that are affected will be provided with solar system. This is being driven from the Ministry of Power, he said. We also looking at job creation for youth. We are also aware that Mr. President approved 1,000 people to be employed within each local government. There are 774 local governments, and this translates to 774 jobs across the country. This is going to be for 3 months, starting from October. We are also providing additional financing to the humanitarian ministry for the cash transfer, which 1 million additional households are being added. We are also providing support for small business in order to ensure that jobs are protected and ensure that more jobs are created. He said that the aviation sector will be assisted to stay afloat. According to him, we are also looking at how to support the aviation sector. Like a lot of planes are parked, and this is causing almost 2.1 billion loss on a monthly basis. We are looking at how to provide some forms of bailout support to ensure that the industry doesn't die. What do you think about this? I would like you to drop on your comments on this platform. And there are some comments right here. Somebody says here, una never see anything, e don't fall for una head. Oil should continue to sell for below $20. Maybe Nigerian will finally get good leaders, as there will be barely any money to steal. Okay, you can also drop on your comment on this platform, and don't forget to press the subscribe button as more trending news will be coming your way. This is Spacey TV. Thanks for watching.